I'm pleased to report that the situation in Chernobyl is stable. In terms of radiation, I'm told it's the equivalent of a chest X-ray.
No, Chernobyl is on fire. And every atom of uranium is like a bullet, penetrating everything in its path. Metal, concrete, flesh.
Hello, I'm Paul Barry. Welcome to Media Watch. And 33 years on, the world's worst nuclear disaster is now playing out on Foxtel as one of the hottest TV shows the world has seen. But not everyone is a fan. Indeed, the gripping drama has been sending News Corp's star columnist Andrew Bolt into meltdown.
Anti-nuclear propagandists too blinded by eco-porn to see Chernobyl truth. Chernobyl lies take their toll. The science now is actually quite clear. The known death toll from Chernobyl is fewer than 100.
Bolt's claim that Chernobyl was not a huge disaster has not gone down well, especially with anti-nuclear campaigners like Australia's Dr Helen Caldicott, who tweeted angrily,
Andrew Bolt clearly knows not the first thing about radiation biology, genetics, embryology, carcinogenesis. How dare he write a piece like this?
But dare he did, and he was soon doubling down on Sky and again disputing the accuracy of the TV show.
Puts the death toll at between 4,000 people and 93,000 people. But in my newspaper columns on Monday, I pointed out the most authoritative bodies actually put the known death toll at less than 100 people. Less than 100.
So, what's the truth of this? Well, the number of direct or known deaths from the Chernobyl accident is indeed less than 100. But many more are expected to die from cancer, and that number is anything but clear. In 2005, the World Health Organization said a team of more than 100 scientists had concluded
a total of up to 4,000 people could eventually die of radiation exposure from the Chernobyl nuclear power plant accident.
Although making it clear those scientists believed the number was
impossible to assess reliably with any precision.
And 14 years on, not much has changed. But what is clear is the final figure is likely to be a lot more than 100. And in the meantime, let's not forget, 350,000 people lost their homes, 4,000 kids contracted thyroid cancer, and thousands of women reportedly had abortions. So why on earth does Bolt trivialise such distress? Answer? He wants to argue that Chernobyl was not such a catastrophe and that people who worry about climate change should be delighted.
You'd be glad that people aren't in that danger, and you'd be glad to hear that nuclear power, which has no carbon emissions, can actually be used if you believe in global warming. Perfect.
Perfect indeed, and plenty of others agree, at least on Sky, 2GB and in the News Corp papers, where nukes are suddenly all the rage again.
It's time we started talking about nuclear power as an option in Australia.
Benefits far outweigh the risks of going nuclear.
Going nuclear. PM's blessing sought for power inquiry.
We've counted at least a dozen stories in the News Corp papers this month alone suggesting nuclear should be given a go. And we've seen a similar barrage on Sky, where Bolt, Kenny, Richo and Jones have all been interviewing pro-nuclear politicians, like Mark Latham and Craig Kelly, Queensland's Keith Pitt, and fellow Coalition MP James McGrath, who's joined Pitt in urging Parliament to consider lifting the current nuclear ban. Plus the Energy Policy Institute of Australia's Robert Pritchard, who's also a nuclear fan.
But I mean, nuclear, no country's got 44% of uranium. I mean, we just are so richly endowed and we're denying ourselves that benefit, aren't we?
We are.
Alan must have forgotten to tell viewers that Mr Pritchard has an interest in boosting nuclear. He chairs a company that wants to build small modular reactors. Jones has also been on radio pushing the nuclear barrow, interviewing these pro-nuclear guests on 2GB and 4BC, and he's been spruiking it to viewers of Seven's Sunrise.
Government's got to grow up. We don't need an inquiry. Get on with the damn thing. Keith Pitt and James McGrath are not 100% correct. They're 1,000% correct.
So, does anyone else think nuclear's a no-brainer? Well, no. Nine's newspapers haven't even broached the subject, while The Guardian and ABC have been unenthusiastic, and the Prime Minister, lukewarm.
It's not on the agenda. I mean, wherever it can come from, it's fine, but it's got to be self-sustaining. Ziggy Sikorsky did make a project for the Howard government on this issue.
Yes, I know.
And it came back, and it didn't come back, saying it could support itself.
In fact, the economics of nuclear power are a bigger problem than Chernobyl, because it doesn't even get to first base on cost. although you wouldn't hear that message from Alan Jones or 90% of the coverage from News Corp and Sky. But as the Vice President of the Australian Nuclear Association told The Guardian earlier this month, nuclear reactors, quote,
don't stack up in the current environment unless you have got some direct government intervention or a carbon price.
And Renew Economy has painted an even bleaker picture of why nuclear does not stack up.
Nuclear power exits Australia's energy debate, enters culture wars.
Admittedly written by an opponent of nuclear power, the analysis by Dr. Jim Green chronicles a shocking recent history of abandoned nuclear projects, massive cost increases, and huge delays in construction. But it also cites estimates from Lazard, the investment bank, from November last year, showing the levelised cost of nuclear power at $112 to $189 per megawatt hour is now 4 or 5 times higher than onshore wind or large-scale solar. So, was any of this examined by News Corp, Sky or Alan Jones on 2GB? Answer, no. Which is remarkable, given that they normally spend so much of their time talking about rising power prices, and so much of their time accusing others of lack of balance. And that's disappointing, because we need a proper energy debate, but on the evidence. But now to breaking news. In the furniture department,